I'm Donna Salazar, and today I'm going to give you a quick tutorial for how to make a digital project on MiDesign. We're going to begin at this web address. You'll click on Photo Creations and then log in. Enter your email address and your password. And this is a paid membership tutorial, but I'll also do a free one. Click on Get Started Now, start a new creation, select Product Photo Book, select size 8x8, 12x12, membership type is VIP, and then we're going to start with a theme. You'll see some of the themes have a little VIP badge. You can actually sort by VIP, and you can see the badges are on all of them, or you can sort by free. There's other sort features as well, but these are the most important. We're going to be doing a VIP theme, so we're going to click on this first theme. You can scroll through the pages by clicking on the arrows. Once you've decided that you would like to do this one, you're going to click Select Theme. You can see in the example there are pictures, but there's icons inside of the frames. So we're going to add photos. You can add from your computer, Flickr, Facebook, PhotoBucket, or Instagram. You can select multiple pictures at a time by holding down your Control or Command buttons. I'm adding the pictures in by just clicking on the plus button, and you can have multiple pages of photos here. And then you just click on Done. Then you just drag and drop the photo from the photo file over to the picture. If you click on the check mark, it's going to bring your photo in full size. And so to take advantage of the template, you need to drag and drop. Now, this is the great thing about these templates is the size of the picture doesn't matter. You can have that huge photo like you saw on the page previous, but when you drop it into the template, it automatically resizes it for you. Now we're going to work on the backgrounds, and you can see I have several that are already chosen here. But if you would like to add your own, you just click on Add Backgrounds. There's several categories, or you can click on Brands, and that's where we're going to go because that's where my product is. You're going to click on the drop down, and we're using the Family Jeans line, and you can see I have all of these chosen already. You just click on Done. And if you want to change this background, all you have to do is click on the check mark. It's that easy. If you decide you don't like it, you can just click on the Undo button. That's the arrow that points to the left. Now we're going to skip over the embellishments and we're going to go to layering papers. You can see I have a lot of the same papers chosen. You add these papers just like you did the backgrounds. If you'd like to change or add a layering paper in, you just click on that check mark again. And this is going in front of everything because unlike the background, this is going on top like you're adding an embellishment, and we'll get to that in a minute. You can change the size by grabbing a corner and dragging it in, or you can go over to layering paper size and position and you can do the size change there. You can change the position there as well, and that's if you want it to be in exactly the right spot. You can rotate it here as well. But you can also rotate by going to the corner and turning it that way. You can add a border here. You can have a dashed line, and I'll make it bigger so you can see what it looks like. You can have dotted or a solid line. You can also change the color of the border if you would like. But we're going to take that back to none. You can also add a shadow, but we'll get into that when we get into the embellishments. Now I want to talk about moving the paper backward and forward. The button I'm on now is moving it back one layer at a time, but you can also click on the button that I just clicked on and it takes it all the way to the back. And then if you want to bring it all the way to the front, that's the button right next to that. If you hold your mouse over the buttons on the right, you can see what those buttons are used for. I'm clicking on the one that moves it forward one layer at a time, but again, I went all the way to the back again. But we're going to take that off. So we're going to click on delete. Now we'll work on the embellishments. I do have embellishments added here. Again, you can add just by clicking on the add button at the top. Again, I'm going to brands, to my drop down, and I'm going to go to the family jeans again because that's the line we're using. You can add as many of these as you like just by clicking on the plus button. When you're done, you just click done. And then you'll need to scroll down to find the embellishments that you've just added. Now, before we get too far into the embellishments, I wanted to let you know that these templates are not set in stone. You can alter anything that you select on here. So if you choose the flower, you can make it larger. You can undo something if you made a mistake by clicking the arrow back. I took it off, then I added it back. As long as you see that pink line around the embellishment, then you know you've selected it, and then you can change it. You might not like the scallop in the background, so you can click on that and then take it off. So the entire template, though it's already there, you can customize it for whatever your needs are. So now we're going to add embellishments. And you can add either by dragging the item into the layout, or you can click the check mark and that will bring it up into the corner. Now I'm making this really large so that I can show you shadowing, but I want you to notice the exclamation point. If you make an embellishment so large that it's not going to look good printed, that little exclamation mark will show up. But we're going to leave it large just so I can talk to you about shadowing. So with the item selected, I click on the shadow menu that is on the right hand side. I can change the blur, the angle, the distance, and the opacity. I'm showing the distance and the opacity much higher than I normally use them, just for dramatic effect so you can see it better. I like having the opacity down quite a bit because that makes it look like an actual shadow. You can also add this reflection, and the farther to the right you go, the more opaque that reflection will be. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the buttons all the way at the top. You can copy by clicking on the button I just clicked on and then paste. Your keyboard shortcuts do not work here. You have to use the buttons up here on the right. Now we're working on frames, and you can add those just like you did the embellishments. You're going to add the frames from the frame folder. You can add by dragging, or you can add by clicking on the check mark. You can just move them by selecting, and this is what I was talking about when you rotate. If you put your cursor at the corner, you can see a rounded arrow, and that is what will allow you to rotate your items on your projects. Now I'm going to move the frame all the way to the back and then click on the move forward button to move it forward one layer at a time. This will save time if you have a layout that has a lot of layers. Something to note is you always need to have the item selected to make any changes. If you notice when I click off of the item, all of the menu items on the side disappear. So make sure you always click on the item to be able to make changes. You can also add shadows. Again, you can change the blur and the angle, the distance, and the opacity. I like the opacity to be about 40%. I think that it looks the most natural. Now we're going to talk about text balloons. You will just drag those onto your layout, select the font, and then type in whatever it is that you would like to type in. Then you're going to select the font again, click on Text Cloud, click on the drop down, and you can change the font here. You can change the size of the font. You can make it bold. You can make it italic. And you just take it off by clicking on the button again. You can change the size and the position. On this, you need to keep the border on, because if you take the border off, then your little text box is gone. So you'll keep that on, but you can change the size of the line. You can also change the color. And you can add a background. You can change the color of the background as well. And if you think you don't like it, just click on the undo arrow. Or maybe you do like it. No, we really don't like it. And then you can add a shadow to this as well. And again, I'm changing the blur, the angle, the distance, and the opacity to make it look as natural as possible. If you decide that you don't like the font you originally chose, you can change the font again and change the sizing so that it ends up being exactly as you like it. Now I'm going to talk about shapes, and you can see you can scroll through your pages and it gives you a little bit of a bigger picture of what that page is. When you add a shape, it lets you skew it however you would like as you're adding it. Once you like the size and the shape of it, then you can just move it to the position you want. Again, I added it all the way to the back and I'm moving it forward just one layer at a time. I'm rotating it. I'm taking the border off just to show you the different things you can do. You can add a gradient. You can change the color of the gradient. But we're just going back to a straight color. You can add a shadow and you can change the blur and the angle and everything like we did before. I'm adding the line back because there's one more fun trick you can do. You can take the background away and it ends up looking like it's a wire star that you've added. Up in the corner, you can click on Want to Print It Yourself. You'll need to save the template with a name that you're going to choose for it. And then it will ask you if you would like Michaels to email you a copy of your digital book. And this is an option you will choose if you have a nice printer at home and you would like to print the digital book for yourself. So you just click on yes, and then they will send you a copy. You can also click on Order Now. And you'll want to do a preview before you order it, just in case. To turn the pages, you just click in the corner. And we didn't add photos to all of the pages, but this will give you a look at what all the layouts are for this entire book. There are 20 pages to this book. So there's all different sizes, and you can change embellishments, you can delete them, move them, whatever you'd like. And then you can add in a text on the back page if you'd like as well. Then you would continue. This tells you the price and it allows you to add it to the cart. And you are ordering a soft covered book. And then this tells you once again what you've ordered. You can ask it to ship to your residence or ship to a local Michaels store. And then you can just continue shopping. If you'd like to see more from me, you can visit me on my blog, on my website. You can like my Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter, or you can follow me on Instagram. And I've got all of my handles shown for you here. Thanks for watching.